Allo, allo, it's Nia. Welcome to AI Creator World Podcast, the place where creators learn how to grow faster, build smarter, and turn artificial intelligence into real opportunity. Here, we explore powerful AI tools, content strategies, personal branding systems, and new ways to create income in the digital era. If you are building something online, you are in the right place. Let's begin.
Have you ever wondered why so many of these AI influencer accounts just suddenly pop up out of nowhere? Like they post absolutely amazing hyper-realistic content for maybe 3 weeks, and
And
then
they just completely vanish.
exactly, it's
Yeah.
like you check back a month later and it is just a complete digital ghost town.
Yeah.
And I feel like it happens constantly.
It does. It's actually a wildly familiar cycle right now in the space. We look at these abandoned accounts and, we tend to assume that the creator's technology failed them. Or like maybe the image generation tools just got way too expensive to keep up with.
Right, like they ran out of server credits or something.
Exactly. But the reality is actually entirely different. It's not a technical failure at all. It's a human failure.
A human failure. Okay, and that is exactly what we are getting into today. Welcome to today's Deep Dives, where we are pulling apart this incredibly tactical March 2026 guide.
Yeah, the one from the AI Creator World Team.
Right. It's titled the 7-Day AI Influencer Weekly Content Calendar. And our mission for this deep dive is to extract the exact weekly blueprint that separates the AI creators who, burn out in a month from the ones who actually build massive sustainable audiences.
Because, frankly, beginner AI accounts don't fail because of bad content. I mean, the AI makes the content look incredible. They fail because of decision fatigue.
Decision fatigue. Let's unpack this. You're saying the creators just getting tired of choosing what to make.
Yeah, basically. A creator sits down every single day and asks themselves, what on earth do I post today? And they just stare at a blank screen.
Yeah, the blinking cursor of doom.
Right. So the production stalls, they miss a few days, and then the platform's algorithm just quietly stops distributing their content entirely.
Wait, let me just challenge that premise right out of the gate here. We are talking about 2026. If the AI tools can fully automate the ideation, the image generation, and like even the caption writing.
Which they can, yeah.
Right, so why isn't the market saturated to absolute zero? Like if it's all so incredibly automated, why are people still experiencing this decision fatigue?
Well, think of it this way. Having a kitchen full of, high-tech gadgets doesn't make you a Michelin star chef if you don't actually have a menu.
Well, that's a good way to put it.
Right. You can have the absolute best AI generation tools in the world, but if you don't have a systemic framework for what to generate and when to post it, you're just paralyzed by infinite possibilities.
And that paralysis leads to inconsistency.
Exactly. And on these social platforms, consistency isn't just a, nice to have. It physically trains the platform's algorithm.
Wait, you mean it's an actual mechanical requirement of the code? It's not just about keeping the human followers happy.
Precisely. It's all about training the machine. Think of the algorithm like a stray cat.
Okay, a stray cat. I'm with you.
If you put food out on your back porch at exactly 6:20 p.m. every single day, that cat is going to show up at 5:55 p.m. waiting for you, right?
Yeah, it knows a routine.
You've trained its behavior, but if you feed it totally randomly, like 3 times on Monday, nothing at all for a week, and then once on Thursday, the cat wanders off to a house that is actually reliable.
That makes total sense.
According to Instagram's own creator best practices, accounts that post regularly within a defined topic area, they build significantly stronger distribution signals than accounts that post irregularly.
Even if the total volume of posts is lower. Because, I see creators going incredibly hard right out of the gate. They're posting twice a day, generating all these wild, complex narratives.
And then by week 2, they completely collapse.
Exactly. So lower volume is actually better if it's steady.
Even if the total volume is lower, yes. The math is just incredibly clear on this. 6 posts a week for 3 months will mathematically outperform 20 posts crammed into one single month followed by complete silence.
Wow.
Yeah, because the algorithm needs a predictable signal to know how to categorize your content and, more importantly, who to show it to. When you vanish, that signal just dies.
And the algorithm simply moves on to someone else who is reliably feeding the system.
Exactly. It finds another porch with cat food.
Okay, so we need to feed this gray cat consistently. But if the primary goal is just, feeding the machine and getting the absolute strongest signal, shouldn't creators just spam the single format that gets the most views?
Like what?
Like Reels?
Brian?
If Reels are currently getting the most eyeballs, why not just post 7 viral Reels a week and completely ignore everything else?
It's a highly logical question, and honestly, it's actually one of the most common beginner mistakes out there. But that single format strategy has a fatal flaw.
Really? Why?
You have to understand that reels, carousels, and stories, they don't just have different visual dimensions, they have completely different algorithmic jobs.
Oh, okay, so they're essentially an ecosystem.
Exactly, it's an ecosystem. A mixed format week consistently outperforms a single format week because you are fulfilling all the different needs of both the platform and the audience. And this ecosystem is broken down into 5 distinct pillars.
Let's walk through these pillars because I feel like understanding the nuts and bolts here is crucial. Pillar 1, like we mentioned, is Reels.
Right. And their algorithmic job is primary reach.
And by reach, we mean getting your content pushed out beyond your existing follower base, right? To people who have never heard of you.
Correct. It's pure discovery. Then pillar 2 is educational carousels. These are those multi-slide graphics you swipe through.
Right, the swipe throughs.
Their job is building niche authority and getting saves, and we should probably clarify what that means mechanically.
Yeah, a save is when a user literally hits that bookmark icon to return to your post later. It's basically the highest intent signal you can possibly give an algorithm.
It tells the code, hey, this content is so incredibly valuable, I need to keep it in my pocket for later.
Makes sense. Okay, so that's 2.
Then you have pillar 3, which is stories. This is your lowest effort visibility. Stories do not go to new people.
Oh, they don't.
No, they retain the followers you already have by keeping your little bubble at the top of their feed every day.
Ah, got it. Maintenance.
Exactly. Pillar 4 is community interaction posts. Think polls, Q&As, stuff like that. They generate comments and two-way engagement.
Okay, and then there is the 5th pillar. And this one is arguably the most fascinating to me when we are talking about artificial intelligence.
It's a lifestyle content.
Yes. Pillar 5, lifestyle and personality content. Because I have to point out the absolute irony here. We are talking about AI influencers.
Right.
These are digitally generated personas composed of pixels and code. They don't sleep, they don't eat, they definitely don't have a real morning commute. Why on earth do they need a lifestyle pillar?
It seems entirely counterintuitive, doesn't it? Like, why post a fake coffee cup?
Exactly.
But you have to remember, human psychology, lifestyle content adds character depth. It actually earns profile visits. Let's look at the mechanics of how a user actually interacts.
Okay, walk me through it.
Imagine a user sees a highly produced, super viral reel from your AI creator on a Wednesday. They're entertained, so they click through to the creator's profile. If that profile is just a wall of robotic, hyper-optimized educational posts, they might just bounce. It feels way too sterile.
Right, feels like they're reading a textbook. There's no hook.
Exactly. But if they see a lifestyle post mixed in like a messy aesthetic workspace or a morning coffee routine or a photo of the creator supposedly out for a walk,
It gives them an emotional hook.
it gives the user an emotional reason to stay. It bridges the gap between, oh, this is interesting content, and I actually want to follow this persona. It provides the illusion of relatability.
It makes the digital feel tangible. You're grounding the code in a human reality.
Yeah.
Okay, so if we have these 5 formats and they all have these highly specific jobs, the real magic has to be in how we sequence them throughout the week.
Bingo.
Because you wouldn't just throw them at the wall randomly.
You absolutely wouldn't. The sequence is incredibly deliberate. It's a highly structured 7-day master blueprint. And it's designed for creators aiming for about 6 to 7 posts a week.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting. Let's not just read the calendar day by day like a manual. Looking at this structure from the guide, it seems to group the week into specific themes. Like the early week, Monday and Tuesday, seems entirely focused on converting attention into trust.
That's actually a perfect way to look at it. Monday is all about the audience intro.
Oh,
The format is usually a single image or a very short reel. The mechanical goal here is to convert last week's viral reach into actual followers.
so you're answering the question, why should I follow this account?
Yes, and you have to do it in under 10 seconds. It's basically catching all the stragglers who found your content over the weekend and formally introducing your character's premise to them.
And then Tuesday shifts to heavy lifting. This is the 8 to 10 slide educational carousel. This is your big authority post for the week.
Right. And there are very specific formulas that work here mechanically.
Like the X things you didn't know about whatever your niche is format.
Exactly. Slide 1 introduces a highly specific problem to hook them. Slides 2 through 8 provide the concentrated, returnable value, the actual solution. And then slide 9 is your call to action.
And the reason Tuesday is dedicated to this heavy, dense carousel is entirely to farm those saves we talked about earlier.
Yes. By putting dense, valuable information early in the week, you are signaling to the algorithm right away that your account produces high-quality, bookmarkable material.
Which perfectly sets up the middle of the week.
Mm.
Because Wednesday is pure reach, the viral reel.
Yep. You use a trending audio track, you adapt a viral format, and your one and only goal is pushing out to new non-followers.
But here's where I noticed a brilliant tactical insight in the source material. Thursday shifts entirely to conversation.
The engagement day.
Yeah, it's an engagement carousel or a Q&A. You are explicitly asking your audience for input to generate a high volume of comments. Now, is that just about building warm, fuzzy community feelings, or is there a mechanical reason Thursday is the engagement day?
Oh, it is pure platform engineering. Generating a high volume of comments on a Thursday signals strong account health to the algorithm right before the weekend.
Wait, really?
Yes. When the code sees active two-way conversations happening, it creates what is essentially a 48-hour trust window. That signal directly supports better distribution for whatever you decide to post on Friday and Saturday.
That is incredible. So you aren't just chatting with fans. You are mechanically priming the algorithmic pump on Thursday so that your weekend posts just explode.
Exactly. You enter the weekend with the algorithm already heavily biased in your favor.
You're manipulating the algorithm's confidence in your account right before you drop your most shareable content.
It's brilliant, isn't it? So on Friday, you drop that lifestyle snippet we talked about, the aesthetic workspace or the morning routine. You're building that emotional connection for the surge of new people who are checking out your profile from Wednesday's reel.
Okay, and then Saturday.
Saturday is trend participation, jumping on an active content challenge or a meme that's already taking off.
So you're not generating momentum from scratch on a Saturday.
No, not at all. You're surfing a wave that is already there using that trust window you built on Thursday.
It's a beautifully integrated system. But I have to admit, understanding the mechanics of this Monday through Saturday schedule, it makes it sound incredibly effective, but it also sounds psychologically exhausting.
Yeah, it can be.
I mean, if you're a single creator, how do you actually execute a mixed format, multi-platform ecosystem without basically living at your computer, just glued to AI generation tools 24/7?
So this is where we get into the biology and psychology of work. The reason most creators feel completely exhausted isn't actually the volume of the content.
It's not.
No, it's the fact that they are mixing completely different types of brain functions. They're trying to do creative work like ideation and visual generation at the exact same time as operational work like writing captions and scheduling.
Oh, context switching.
Yes, context switching biologically drains your cognitive load. Every single time you switch from being a creative director visualizing an image to a data entry clerk scheduling a post, your brain burns energy reorienting itself.
So doing both simultaneously just destroys your momentum.
Exactly.
Which is why the solution in the guide is an operational batching workflow. It's essentially a 3-step assembly line to prevent burnout. You separate the creative from the operational entirely.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, it's the only way to scale.
Let's look at step 1, ideation. You don't sit around waiting for inspiration. You do a 15-minute sprint using a highly specific ChatGPT prompt.
Right, you get the AI to do the heavy lifting of brainstorming.
I actually have the exact prompt from the guide right here. You literally type, generate 7 content ideas for an AI influencer account in my specific niche targeting my audience. Include 2 real concepts, 2 carousel ideas, 1 lifestyle post, 1 engagement post, and 1 trend participation concept. Boom.
And in under 2 minutes, the AI spits out a full week of content briefs.
You refine them maybe once, and you firmly lock them in.
Yes. You do not go back to the drawing board. Once those ideas are locked, you move immediately to step 2, which is visual production. You generate all your character images, your scene imagery, and your carousel graphics in a single session using a text-to-image AI like Midjourney.
All at once.
All at once. And if you're doing Reels, you edit all the video sequences in a single session using a tool like CapCut, which allows you to just drop your assets into pre-timed viral templates.
And there is a rule here that I absolutely love because it speaks to the reality of working with artificial intelligence. You must do all of this visual work before you write a single caption. Why is that sequence so critical?
Because it acknowledges the difference between human flexibility and AI rigidity.
Right.
AI models map text prompts to a latent space to generate images, which means the output can be, well, unpredictable. If you write your caption, first say, describing your character holding a perfectly round red apple, and the AI generates an image of your character holding a slightly oval, dark crimson apple.
You will spend hours tweaking prompts, trying to force the AI to perfectly match your text.
Exactly. You're fighting the machine.
But if you generate the visuals first, you just look at the image the AI gave you, and you write the caption about a dark crimson apple.
Because human language is infinitely flexible, AI image generation is rigid. It is so much easier for a human to adapt words to a picture than to force an AI to perfectly render a highly specific sentence.
That makes total sense. You work with the technology's constraints, not against them, which leads perfectly into step 3, captions and scheduling. Once all the visuals exist, you sit down and write all 7 captions in one focused flow state.
Yep, no jumping back to mid-journey.
Right. Then you queue the entire week up in scheduling software like Later or Buffer.
For anyone unfamiliar, those tools are essentially digital mailrooms. You load all your posts, captions, and hashtags into them on Sunday, tell them exactly what day and time to post, and they automatically fire them off throughout the week.
While you're sleeping or working on other things, you complete the full scheduling session before you even close your laptop.
And just like that, your entire week is running on autopilot. Your daily cognitive energy is now completely freed up. Instead of waking up in a panic about what to post, you can spend your time simply replying to comments and actually engaging with your community.
Okay, so Monday through Saturday is loaded, scheduled, and firing automatically. But we still have Sunday left on the calendar. What happens on day 7? Is it just a day to step away from the screens?
Well, not quite. Sunday is arguably the most critical day of the week, even though it requires the least amount of production. Sunday is for a minimal story recap sequence, maybe resharing your 2 best posts to catch anyone who missed them. But crucially, Sunday is for a 20-minute performance review.
Because a calendar without a review is just a schedule. It doesn't adapt.
Exactly. The Sunday review is what transforms this entire process from a static schedule into a compounding growth system. If you aren't looking at the mechanical data, you aren't growing, you're just guessing.
And the metrics you need to look at during this Sunday review are highly specific, according to the guide. You track reach, which again is how many non-followers saw the post. You track share rate.
Which is the absolute strongest algorithmic signal for Reels, by the way. If people are sending your Reel to their friends via direct message, the algorithm pushes it to the moon.
Good to know. You also look at profile visits and follower conversion, and there is a very specific benchmark to watch. A save rate target of above 2% for your educational carousels.
Yes. If 2% of the people who see your carousel physically save it, you have hit the algorithmic jackpot. You log these numbers every Sunday, and within 3 to 4 weeks, the patterns become undeniable.
You will see exactly what your specific audience responds to.
Exactly. And that brings us to the golden rule of growth, the 90-day compounding rule.
How does that actually work in practice? Like, what are you doing with that data?
You look at your data and identify your 2 best performing post formats, the ones consistently earning above average reach or saves. Research shows that accounts that double down on proven formats in their first 3 months grow significantly faster than those that constantly rotate untested ideas.
So your Sunday job is to increase the frequency of what works.
Right. You make exactly one specific calendar adjustment each Sunday.
Just one tweak. So maybe you realize your audience loves deep dives, so you make your Tuesday carousel 10 slides instead of 8.
Or you swap a Wednesday trend post for another educational reel.
You make one small data-backed improvement, and that single improvement compounds massively over 90 days.
Yes. And it's really important to note how this adapts for absolute beginners, too.
Oh, right, because 7 posts a week is a lot if you're just starting out.
It is. So if you're overwhelmed and can only handle 4 posts a week realistically without burning out, the blueprint says to prioritize 2 reels and 2 carousels. Those formats deliver the highest growth return for the effort.
Makes sense.
And interestingly, they strongly advise avoiding overinvesting in stories until you hit at least 1,000 followers.
Which makes perfect sense when you understand the mechanics we just talked about. Stories only retain existing followers. They do not push out to new audiences. If you only have 50 followers, spending 3 hours designing beautiful stories is a complete waste of your limited production energy. You are basically preaching to an empty room.
Exactly. Focus on reach and authority first. And of course, this entire template flexes depending on your specific niche.
Right. If you are building a lifestyle AI influencer like a digital fashion model or a travel persona, you lean heavily into visual reels and aesthetics. You prioritize the visual quality and the mood over the depth of the text and the captions.
Whereas the education niche, say, an AI persona teaching coding or personal finance, shifts the weight toward those 8 to 10 slide carousels. It's all about actionable structure.
And you would use your lifestyle slot not to show a fake vacation, but to show a hyper-organized study setup or a digital note-taking system to build your character's authority.
Spot on. And if you're in the entertainment or viral niche, you are leaning heavily into 4 to 5 reels a week, where the psychological strength of your first 3-second hook matters infinitely more than the actual depth of the content.
But regardless of the niche, the core mechanical engine remains exactly the same. Ideate, batch, schedule, review, adapt.
It is a brilliantly ruthless system.
It really is. So taking a step back to look at everything we've uncovered in this deep dive, what we've learned is that fast, explosive growth for an AI influencer isn't about waking up every day with a sudden stroke of creative genius. It is literally the exact opposite.
It's pure operational consistency.
Right. It's about building a relentless, structured 7-day loop. It's strategically mixing your formats to hit different algorithm triggers, like priming the pump with a Thursday Q&A so your Friday reels absolutely explode. It's batching your production to protect your brain from context switching. And it's using your Sunday data review to compound your wins mathematically.
It's treating creativity like an operational science, essentially. But, when you look at this entire ecosystem from a bird's eye view, it brings up a fascinating reality about where digital media is heading.
How so?
Well, think about the chain of events here. We are using an AI to generate the content ideas. We are using an AI to generate the visual images. We are using an AI to write the captions. We are using software to automate the scheduling. And all of this is perfectly mechanically optimized to feed the algorithmic appetite of the platform's AI.
Wow, we've removed the human bottleneck from almost every single step of the production line.
We really have. And so the ultimate question isn't whether the system works. I mean, we know it works mathematically. The question is what happens to the landscape of the internet when millions of creators adopt this exact automated loop?
Which leaves you with something entirely wild to mull over the next time you find yourself endlessly scrolling through your feed. If the creator's AI is writing the script, and the platform's AI is deciding who sees it, at what point does the human influencer disappear completely? Are we fast approaching a reality where the machines are just having a highly optimized, perfectly automated conversation with each other, and you, the human audience, are merely serving as the byproduct? Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Thank you for listening to AI Creator World Podcast. If you found this episode valuable, make sure to follow the podcast, subscribe on YouTube, and share this episode with another creator who is building their future online. For deeper guides, AI tools, and step-by-step growth strategies, visit our website at aicreatorworld.net. And remember, in the age of artificial intelligence, creators who learn faster will lead the future. See you in the next episode. Bye!